YouTube, what's happening? It's your guy Hitch. I hope you're all enjoying your week. I wanted to take this moment to introduce you to my personal favorite sneaker app at the moment. It's called TradeBlock. So the one app the sneaker community has been missing is finally here. So we've had apps that allows us to resell sneakers or even cop sneakers we may have missed years prior with StockX and GOAT, but we've never had something that allows us to trade until now. So in the past, if you're familiar with Nike Talk, shout out to old Nike Talk members. We used to swap and trade sneakers out on Nike Talk, but with everything being so app-driven, that's phased out. So the good news is it doesn't matter if you have an Android phone or an iPhone, TradeBlock's going to be available on both your app or your Google Play Store. So once you have it downloaded and you've created your profile, I'd recommend you do two things. First, build out your closet. Your closet is going to be all the sneakers that you have in your possession and you're willing to trade, and then build out your wish list. Your wish list is going to be all the sneakers you don't have and you're willing to trade for. Now, if you were to miss out on a limited release, you don't have to worry about running out and immediately paying over retail. Or you may sleep on a pair of sneakers like I did. When the Shadow Backboard 1 lows dropped last year, I thought they were a dope shoe, but I passed. The reason being, I picked up the neutral gray 1 lows earlier in the year. When I got them in hand, I was not really impressed and I had to get rid of them. However, the Shadow Backboards, they kept growing on me, and by the time the end of the year rolled around, I figured I really did want to pick them up. And at that time, they already had sold out. So now I went, saw that the value is going up on a daily basis, and I was like, all right, I need to figure out what I have in my closet that I'm willing to let go. At the time, I had the bubblegum ones that I didn't care for, and the value was just as close to the Shadow Backboard ones, and it was time for them to go. Once you know the sneakers you want and the sneakers that you're willing to give up, now's the fun part, and that's finding the person you want to make that trade happen with. And one of the dope features in the app is going to be the messaging feature, and it allows you to talk about your trade via messages before sending that proposal over. But once it's sent over and it's accepted, the next thing that happens is TradeBlock does charge an authentication service fee and a shipping fee, and then you have 3 days to get your sneakers over to UPS. But there's a few different things that I do want to call out about their processes and their fees. The first thing is you can actually trade multiple kicks at one time, but when you do that, just keep in mind, no matter how many sneakers you trade, they all got to fit in one box. So one of my first trades included me sending out 2 and getting 3 back. And when I got my 3, they were in one box, and the box was pretty big. The other thing is going to be the fees. The more sneakers that you're trading, the higher your fees are going to be. And then also, both parties do pay their fees. So there's no way around that. The other thing to keep in mind when you're thinking about your trade is if the sneakers aren't equal value, you can either add money to your side to make the value right, or you can ask the person you're trading with to add money to make the value right. And then lastly, the 3 days, there's no way around it. If you make that trade happen on a weekend or a holiday, it doesn't matter. You only get 3 days to send the sneakers out. Once TradeBlock gets your sneakers, they go through an authentication process, and as long as both sides pass, they ship them out to you. But that's also something very important to call out, and that's going to be the details for your sneakers. They need to be accurate, because if they're not, your trade will get declined or canceled. For example, if the box has a dent, it needs to be marked damaged box or it's going to get canceled. It's happened to me. My sneakers that I sent them were real, but it had a ding in the box and I didn't mark it damaged and they were canceled. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is the turnaround time. From the time I shipped out my bubblegum ones, it took about 11 days to get my Shadow Backboard 1 lows in hand, which is not bad.
Chef Curry with the 3 ball, still go hard in the paint. Hard in the paint. Huddle up on 3. Let's do it for a little sake. Just do it, cause they telling me okay. Let's not. I done shed my tears, only right. I laugh to the bank. Can't stop for a red light. Still bump Bo Kanye, can't wait till my bread right. Can't wait till my bread right. Bad boy sucking out 5. The head right, Molly there at night. Young kick from the field and I stay fly. Pull up, only question with the bed light. Kill pussy, it ain't got not live. Hard tumble like a Nissan. Then bring that's 10 man. Hit a clone with the B-side. Roll room with the kickstand. Your team full of has-been. No hope like a Knicks fan.
TradeBlock is really a dope app. I've enjoyed using it over the last couple of months, and it's filling a huge void that we've had in the sneaker community for a while. But as much as I love the app, they still have some improvements that they do need to make. For one, the sneaker inventory. They are missing mad kicks, especially New Balance models. And you guys know I bang with New Balance, so something got to be done there. But most importantly, they are missing the #1 shoe I'm trying to trade for right now, and that is the Nike Air Flight 1 in the Galaxy colorway. They do not have it. They also do not have the Kyrie 7 Sneaker Room collab. They do have all the hype stuff for the most part, but they seem to neglect on the GR side. I remember they didn't have the winterized 14s until the middle of the day when they released. And then you have their fees. They got to do something about the fees. I feel like the fees are a little bit high, especially if you're trading multiple sneakers. The fees go up. In Jersey, to trade one shoe, it's $43.30. Out of that, 25 of it goes to the authentication service fee. I think they can play around with that number and just make it a little bit more friendly. And even though I have seen the fees be a detractor on some of my trades, I'm going to continue to trade because I'd rather trade for a sneaker that I don't have than to pay retail for something that I missed out on. Now, have you guys used TradeBlock yet? Do you plan on using it after seeing this video? And I told you, I traded the bubblegum ones for the Shattered Backboard 1 lows. So what do you guys think about this trade? Did I win? Was it even? Was it fair? Hit the comments, let me know. And do you also want to see videos where I talk about different trades that I've done? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification so you know when I got new videos dropping. I'm out.
No we and I ain't just mad cause I been him. That nigga. Young king from the east side. Still good on the west end. Don't run up on my G-Ride. When my dudes lose go. Best friend. Great later, fuck less than. Count money in blessings.